So here we are at the car now, and the next job on the list is to sort out the firing of these coil packs. So we've got our Ignitor unit. What I've done is I've made up the plugs ready. So what we'll do is we'll fit that somewhere around here. We'll riv nut that on, and then we'll have a look at how to get the wiring sorted, and we'll have a look in the loom. So let's get this fitted, and then we'll come back. We'll just put it on with riv nuts, as you can see, and which is easier. Keep it out of the way there, nothing in there to for it to bump into. Okay, let's get that done. So there's the riv nuts fitted. Now we can grab hold of the Ignitor unit, get it screwed on there, and then we can get some lengths of cables. We're going to have a look. As you can see, I've just took the air filter off, which is only 2 screws and a little pipe. The vent pipe, the loom we need is in here, so we'll then investigate these coil pack wires in here and tap into them with this. So right, let's get that screwed on so we can get some length. So there we go, got the Ignitor unit screwed on and bolted in place. So now what we can do is, I started taking apart the loom here. So what we can do is look for all the coil pack wires. So the blue and silver, the white and silver, what have we got there, green, silver and yellow and silver. So we'll go through this loom here and we'll pick out what we can get there, all the Ignitor wires, such as these, and oh, we've got a yellow one there, excellent. So we just need the white, there it is. So we've got our 4 wires going to our coil packs, and this side of the Ignitor unit will tap into those. Well, actually, what we're gonna do is, because this is just a sort of like test bed, I'm gonna put a connector. I'm gonna snip these 4 wires and put a 4-pin connector on it, so that we can run the Nissan ECU, and then if we want we can run the Speeduino. It just makes it a bit more flexible for testing and whatnot. So we'll just put a plug on these so we can plug between Nissan or Speeduino, and we've got a ground wire to run in. So we'll Nissan have handily put a ground point here, so we'll wire that to there. So what I'll do, get these out of the way, so don't need them just at the moment. What I'll do is I'll snip these 4 wires that we need, and I'll put a connector on there. We'll crimp and solder one on there, and crimp and solder one on here, the end, and also we'll neaten up these. We'll actually loom these up and make them all neat and tidy. And I think under here into one nice loom, we'll start taping them. Okay, so that's our next job, to get that done. So when I come back, we'll have a connector on here and these connectors, and hopefully I can get me show you exactly how we've done it. Okay, so we've got the connector in place, dug out the wires as you saw earlier, and cut them and added some pins and a connector so we can just disconnect or reconnect. Obviously if you were fitting the engine management permanently, you wouldn't need to do that, but I want to run the Nissan's ECU and just mess around really with this engine. Got the looms in, so basically what we're going to do is these 4 wires here come from the ECU, so these will come from the Speeduino. At the moment obviously they're coming from Nissan's ECU, but we've made the jumper harness. They'll come from Speeduino, they will plug into here. I've just got it plugged together now so that it doesn't get any moisture in it when I'm driving around. So one side will plug into this from the Speeduino, and then the other side of this here, this is what's going to ground the coil packs, and that will go into here straight to the coil packs. That will give the ground, that will fire the coil packs. And what we've done also is there is an earth wire, it runs, and I've just connected it up to the earth point on the engine. So that's that done. So next on the agenda is to sort of get into the car and wire it into the car and see what happens. Basically try it out. We'll do some I'm not sure you can see down here, but basically right down in there is the crank pulley, so we'll need to turn the engine over and set the timing, because obviously the Speeduino doesn't know anything about that. And I think I've mentioned earlier we've got the crank sensor connector, crank sensor down there. It's a VR sensor, so that'll be going through that conditioner on the board, and that should we'll run it in wasted spark to try and get the engine started, because that's just easier. We don't need the cam sensor, which is here. Don't need that then. We can just use the crank sensor to start it up, and we'll just run in semi-sequential and wasted spark. Okay, so that's that for now.